Welcome to Rochester, New York, George's hometown and the location of a new emergency water franchise. George summers in Rochester on Lake Victoria while running the business, but just because he's up north doesn't mean he doesn't know what's going on down south with John.
Will you have any, hey, I have a question. Since I've been gone, will you have any jobs done? I don't think you will either.
However, he's much happier with a different John. John Ski has flown up from Atlanta to aid in the growth of the new business.
Oh my goodness, they're 8 to 10 foot out there. They don't look like it from here, but they are.
When we flew over, we came way over the lake and
did
turned
you?
around, yeah.
Ooh, John, what's poking me in the back? Yeah, I want it. I want it. Do you want it?
John, is there something in my eye? Can you look real quick?
We about to get into the DyNasty. You know what I
The
mean?
moves are coming today. Well, you know what? That's not like a George problem to me.
Hey, it's not the size of the compressor, it's how they pound the nails.
He's camera shy, I think. My washing machine was going, the cast iron failed and it clogged. And when it did, all the water backed up through every orifice in the house.
Emergency water removal was called in to do as they do, and they removed the water and sewage, but the Thomas's sewer line is still seeping under the house and is most likely broken.
It was getting to the point when we first opened it, we couldn't even get near it because it was so smelling so bad. And it was wet. Yeah, it's been 2 months since the plumbing fiasco, and we're still waiting around. I've got my washer and dryer sitting out on the carport.
Tommy is retired from the military and nursing due to disability, and his already compromised immune system is not being helped by the raw sewage still leaking under his house.
I've been getting sicker and sicker the longer it takes to get the plumbing fixed, but it took a while to get the financing done. Major catastrophes like this are not budgeted. My wife just recently went back to work, and she's a full-time student, a full-time worker.
To fix this problem, George has enlisted his go-to plumber Mike Brown and his gang of merry men to replace the decrepit cast iron sewage line with modern PVC. However, he was supposed to arrive 30 minutes ago.
All right, Mike. Where the heck are you?
While we wait, let's check in with John back in Norcross. Today, John is dealing with Miss Evans. 2 months after we first dropped into this job, and PCS has still not received any money for the repair that they've already half done. And since PCS won't start until they get money, and they can't get money until the mortgage company sends the check back, Miss Evans is furious.
I'm trying to...
However, Miss Evans doesn't quite know how any of this goes down, and her constant misunderstandings of the proceedings are making it really hard for everyone involved.
The mortgage company has more interest in the house than the actual homeowner. So they have to be included on the check because the mortgage company owns probably more of your house than you do.
This angers Miss Evans, so she calls the mortgage company a lot.
Call me.
Sorry, I don't mean to call you again.
I don't mean to call you again, but I'm calling you.
I fell down and I dialed your number. I don't know what happened.
I don't mean to call you on a Sunday, but I'm calling you on a Sunday.
Frustration abounds, and since George is out of town on business, John must take the full brunt of Miss Evans' meandering anger all by himself.
I just had some messages to give, and I wouldn't, because I really don't want to talk to you.
We're 7 minutes into the phone call here, and in a rare show of humility, Miss Evans is actually apologizing to John for cussing him out the day before.
And she currently still has the record for the oldest lady to ever cuss me out. When I say cuss me out, every word, top to bottom, 4-letter, everything. 86 years old, but that's Victoria's Secret.
However, Miss Evans is a long-form storyteller, and she probably still needs another few minutes before she gets to the apology.
You say that I cussed you out. You have. Just listen to me. Don't take it as such because last time I'll be talking to you along these lines, okay?
Okay, roll on. Go ahead.
I have a plaque from, and I said, there you go again. And I said I was valedictorian. I was not. I was salutatorian. Valedictorian is higher than salutatorian, and I came in the second one. I just, that's one word that popped in my head when I was so upset, but I want to correct that, because don't say anything that's not so about me.
This might be the best day ever. I think she's about to release me from talking to her ever again. Could be a good day.
But I need to try to keep up with what I need to get done here, but my heart
All right,
and my body...
I'm gonna go take a leak. I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
My mind is.
So just,
sometimes, you know,
I guess go ahead and just film the phone. I'll be back.
and I don't want that. But that isn't what I called about. You don't want to hear that. You're no more interested in this pencil I'm holding. But what I'm saying is, through the years, all the places that
Well,
I
until
have
then,
worked,
let's head back down to Forest Park.
I'm just waiting to get my life back in perspective. Because right now I'm just waiting on other people, insurance companies and contractors, plumbers. Hey, Mike. About 30 minutes? Okay. Because the camera guy's been here for about an hour. All right. Bye. Said keep your shirt on. He'll be back in. He'll be here in about 30 minutes. So we twiddle our thumbs for 30 minutes.
All right, back to Norcross we go.
Takes her 45 minutes to say one thing like, I talked to somebody.
Minute 12 and the call is still a monologue as Miss Evans has moved past her apology to John and blazed right into discussing her previous call to her mortgage company.
Here, Miss Evans, that you signed a contract to represent you as the state auditor. I said, what do you mean I signed the contract? I said, I didn't sign any kind of contract. She said, well, we have one here.
She's attempting to accuse PCS of fraud by saying she was not informed that her contract specified that George would represent her as a public auditor. It is also worth mentioning that Miss Evans has been calling the mortgage company once a day for a week, and they might just be looking for any way to deflect her attention back to PCS and off of them.
Sherry, if I did, would you have to pay them 10%? I said, then I did it without being informed that I was signing the contract.
PCS not advertising the fact that George would be your public adjuster would be like McDonald's not advertising the fact that they have fries. It's a big part of the appeal because George cuts through the legalese of your insurance policy and gets you what you deserve from your insurance company, who is incentivized to pay as little as possible to you.
So whenever we signed her up, we said, you don't have to talk to the adjusters anymore. You don't have to talk to the mortgage company anymore. All George's fees come out of the insurance money, but you'll still get your house repaired completely better than what it was. Okay.
Everything has to go to the state adjuster, which I guess is George.
Correct. Remember how whenever...
Wait a minute. You all acting...
Are you about to cuss me out again? Because if you are, I'll hang up.
Please finish my kitchen. And please just...
If you hang up...
My kitchen. Goodbye.
Said the first thing is, don't talk to the adjuster anymore. I will. And then the adjuster shows up at the door and I said, Miss Evans, I know, I won't talk to him. He didn't even get in the door. And she spoke to him for 15 minutes solid about my sister and my husband.
But that begs the question, does she truly not understand the process and is lashing out in frustration? Or is she up to something a little more sinister? Either way, only part of John's job is a call center, so he has to go do other stuff. While he's doing that, let's go see what's going on in Forest Park.
I figured I had wasted my money. I went out.
I'm sorry it took so long to get here.
Let's see, how late are they? About an hour and a half?
We're about an hour late from the time I told them we'd be here yesterday, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I'm early, something's wrong. Yeah, meet the homeowner. You remember Tommy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're in great time.
When you talking about?
So if you hear something blow up underneath your house, pay no attention.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So you haven't had running sewage in how long?
I can't use my bathroom sink because it leaks right down into the vanity.
So that's a cesspool under there.
Yeah.
So Mike and the gang get ready to go under the house to remove a sewer line that's been leaking for 2 months during the Georgia summer.
Hey, look, yeah, man,
You can imagine the smell isn't pleasant, but this isn't even top 10 for these guys as they prepare to carefully and surgically extract the sewer line.
That's it. Yeah! Yeah, one more time.
All right, now move on over to the other side and smash that out. Come on, quit crying. It's only a little bit of fat man poop.
Nasty.
Quit being a crybaby, dude. There you go. There's the lead flange from the toilet. Circa 1950s.
All right, you're about to move.
I'll step out of the way. Woo! Kevin's gonna be bringing out some sewer pipes. This is what caused the house to flood to begin with.
After that's done, they move to the sewer connection at the front of the house.
What Tony and Jeff's doing here is they're digging up the remaining of the cast iron that's connected to the PVC sewer line out to the street.
Mike suspects that roots from all the shrubs and ivy have penetrated the sewer line and have caused the choke point, leading to sewage seep and backups.
So you're gonna find, once we get this dug up right here, you see all these roots here that we're chopping through.
Yep.
You're gonna find that this is serious. This is the main
Culprit.
root cause.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds pretty good. This is what your problem was all those years. The inside of that pipe is rusted, and you see how it's not smooth whatsoever. That'll catch toilet paper, you know, dental floss. I see that in there a lot. So that was your problem. And then, you know, once we're gonna tie on a solid piece from the house all the way out, so we're not gonna have that problem anymore. See that big pile of black there?
Yep.
That's all roots.
We can boil that into a nice tater.
Now, that's a root ball
Made from poop.
fed by this dude's poop. Are you sure you don't want to touch it?
Nope.
Come on, touch
A little bit?
it. You know you want to touch it.
Come on, man. This is causing me just a little bit.
Come on, I want to touch it. I want to touch it. I want to touch it.
All right, let's dig that out so we can get a pipe through there. Old-fashioned purple stuff here.
Yeah. But
Come on in. Keep coming. Keep coming.
Slam
Keep
it.
coming.
won't be in my lifetime.
Now with the two easy parts of the job done, Kevin goes back under the house to figure out their next step.
Turds!
But sometimes things don't go as you plan under a house saturated in sewage.
I don't see no 4x3s either. So, we may be going to the supply house.
It turns out the couplings aren't the right ones, and the hookups from the house to the new sewage lines are going to be more of a pain than previously thought.
So yeah, let's go take a look what you're talking about.
Coming your way.
No, don't go there. I'll really explode.
I know you'll explode, Miss Evans, but I'm just explaining to you, if you keep doing what you're doing.
Well, I've never spent so much time staring at furniture, wondering how the hell I was going to fit it all in a 16-foot pod.
It's going to be an interesting pack.
And later,
Oh, like I'm joking? Got me running around freaking everywhere? Que maldita vaina, este maldito gringo, el diablo.
recently, James had some water damage on his top floor that ended up coming down and affecting all 3 floors of his house.
I looked up and I see water coming from the ceiling. And as I saw that, I cut the water line off. I started drying up all the water. So I thought in my mind that I caught everything.
From a friend, James heard about emergency water removal, who will come out to your house for a free analysis.
So I called an emergency water removal, 24-hour hotline. The guy came out right away. And then he started doing his water testing. And it was amazing. I was impressed with the equipment he had.
This is a thermal imaging camera. What's blue is what's wet.
And it showed where all the water spot. It picked up water moisture, I guess. So yes, you got water here. He shot his gun at the foot of the stairs. And I'm saying to myself, I don't think there's no water down there. And behold, water. And it went all the way around the other side of the wall. I mean, even a spot that was already dry, they still took readings of areas to make sure there was no water got in certain spots. And I was very impressed with that. I had another company came out after, it was service came out. So he had like a little rod and it had 2 prongs on the end and he just stick it to detect water moisture. So when I saw that, I go like, that's not accurate. And they did the little test right here. Yep, you got water damage. And I had to point to go around the other side. So can you check on the other side? He said, yes, you have water damage there too. I said, can you check underneath these steps? He said, okay, went inside, yep, you got water damage in there also. I said, really? Now, why do I have to ask the person that's supposed to be an expert to check certain areas for water damage? I wasn't comfortable with certain because the guy was trying to rush me so that way he can have the contract. So here we are with emergency water removal. I love how he explained things to me. He was honest and he was forward. He said, look, this is what's gonna happen. And then they send out the service personnel and then they're gonna do a final inspection, make sure everything is right the way it's supposed to be. And that's another thing I love too, because they say, if it's not right, we're gonna make sure it's right before we close the deal. And you can't ask for anything better than that.
So if you've had water damage, call emergency water removal for a free analysis. Once again, Ms. Evans is called to talk to John. Against John's careful urging, Ms. Evans has sent her mortgage company a manila folder full of receipts, invoices, and other notes that are unrelated to the rebuild check about which her mortgage company was actually inquiring.
So I send them the contract for the rebuild. Ms. Evans wigs out and says, what they're asking for is the contract for the water company and the contract for the pack-out company, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna send it in.
Nothing to do with any of the mortgage paperwork. Her emergency water removal contract, nothing to do with the rebuild. Her envelope of all the people she talked to and notes and dates and times on the back of an envelope, just random occurrences and thoughts of the plumber and what day he was here and what time he left, and just useless information.
So now they're saying I have a 8,000-pound stack of paper that has nothing to do with the rebuild. I'm authorized to talk to him. I just need to tell you what's happening. Those two checks have nothing to do with the water company. The water company's paid in full. The invoice of paid in full was sent to Midland by me, so they have a copy. But the reason they're raising holy heck and trying to pay money out all over the place is that big packet of information you sent in had water invoices and water everything. This has nothing to do with water.
No. I sent my plumbing bills as sure that if you did
Exactly.
Everybody, let's don't go there, John.
They're not asking.
No, stop. You make the call, tell them that you're calling us, that Victoria called you, so don't go there. I'll really explode.
I know you'll explode, Miss Evans, but I'm just explaining to you, if you keep doing what you're doing.
You're going to cut the checks once you send us the information on the water removal company, because I said I gave you the check and you signed the receipt, which I have in my file. Let's don't go there.
If you keep sending in
Contract work with the water removal company, and the check that you said, I'll see that he gets it.
the water removal company is paid.
Just make the call, John.
Miss Evans, A, you don't tell somebody what to do. You ask them nicely. Number two is if you keep telling them this is the water contract you need, it's going to continue to confuse them. The water company is paid, so stop talking.
I tell them anything that they will. Oh my God. And that lady said she had everything. I didn't instigate it and I didn't bring it up.
Who mailed the water contract to them?
Finished this, John. You finished this. You were coming. I never seen you again after to finish this house.
Is that your welcome for fixing my house? Maybe she knows Pete. I guess that's the way they say you're welcome.
Again, it could be she's just misunderstanding this, but it also kind of looks like she's trying to screw someone out of money. You don't know because you can't see into someone's heart.
That's where I kept saying to her, don't do this. I'll do everything for you. If you send them the wrong paperwork, it's going to slow down the process and mess everything up. Everything. It will slow it down even slower than it's going right now.
So for now, John has to figure out how to make the mortgage company ignore their own client while also obtaining the endorsed check from them. As George said earlier, of all the rebuild projects that John is managing so far this summer, none of them have paid out yet, and that's a problem for the moment without a solution. Fortunately, in Forest Park, their problems have solutions. After Jeff tears out the old cast iron, he's able to replace it with PVC, and Mike has finally gotten back to picking up supplies.
Then we added our fern code to the cast iron. Then you come down and we put a 4x2 Y, and then we ran it down 4 inch, then we wired it into the toilet, and then it goes out to the main line. That is professional work there. You see that?
Yep, your modesty showing. Expertise.
After connecting the toilet, it's time for Jeff to go back under the house and get started.
I still got good power to it, don't it? There we go. Well, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna keep coming, put my combo, another combo in right here for the tub, and then come out the back of that combo with the 90 going down, catching the toilet. Catching the kitchen sink.
Got enough room to do it?
Yeah. And 2 inch all the way up to the, man, this man's gonna have a real good drain. Usually go 1.5 inches. We don't upscale him big time.
And after a few cigarette breaks to make it an even 10-hour day, the sewage line is finished and Tommy Thomas can defecate to his heart's desire.
Always come out with extra parts. Always.
Sadly, his house needs a lot more than a new sewage line, as his kitchen still must be replaced and the asbestos in the walls must be dealt with. So Cat Pack Out Services will be visiting him by the end of the week in order to clear the area for the construction. The next day, John sits through Atlanta traffic only to come to work and sit and hold traffic. But he's determined to finally settle this issue with Miss Evans' mortgage company. So John gets a victory, and the mortgage company is no longer confused, but he's still waiting on that check from them, and PCS still has to do the rest of Miss Evans' rebuild. So there's still some concern. 2 days after the sewage line is replaced, Tommy's house is being packed out to prepare for the upcoming construction.
I came here with 55 book boxes, and that was 27 years ago. And I don't throw away books.
Sometimes you want to arm the intruders before they enter your house. So it's always good to leave the axe and the saw and the clippers right by the entrance.
Although the Thomas' small house is pretty crowded and will fill 2 pods to the brim easily, Catback employees dispute whether or not they'd classify him as a hoarder.
But I don't
We've
see
already
how
had our
we
good
call him a
conversation.
hoarder, because that's not really, that's just normal house stuff.
Yeah. He has more books than the average person, but I appreciate books. So. If you can't bring Christmas to a small African country, it's not a hoarder.
I built the bookcase.
That means it's heavy. That's what that tells me.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It's also screwed into a board. If you look over there, you'll see the board. Yeah, it's not full of boxes. It's got boxes of stuff, but it has a lot of books, and there's also like 400 records. It's going to be an interesting pack. Surprised we can even find the floor in my daughter's room.
much of the house has been packed up, we find that the giant bookcase was hiding a dangerous source of microbial growth, and more than likely was affected by the sewage leak under the house.
I hope we got this crawl space treated, because that's where you can see it's coming right down. And there's that big bookshelf right there. All these books had mold too.
After an attempt was made to get the bookcase out of the house, Tommy says to toss it, and the pack-out team decides to turn some opportunity to bash some stuff up.
I found you a toy.
Oh, cool!
Hell yeah.
No, he told. Well, I've never spent so much time staring at furniture, wondering how the hell I was going to fit it all in a 16-foot pod.
Job complete. Tommy Thomas.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we did it.
Now that the sewage line has been fixed and the house has been cleared, there's still a long way to go. Insurance says that the Thomases will be out of their house for at least 6 weeks.
They said they were going to call me back at noon, now 3:30, and I keep getting put on hold, and then after 10 minutes I get cut off.
And they still haven't quite figured out a way to pay for the rebuild.
Major catastrophes like this are not budgeted.
So in order to have a happy ending here, here's that fluffy kitten from earlier.
Watch out, kitty.
It's so soft. You know what that cat's saying right now? I'm a kitty. That's what all cats say.
Oh my god, this is the cutest shit ever.
We had a rough time.
6 weeks in a hotel? Tell me about it. I'm ready to be home. I am ready to be home. 6 weeks. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you.
Dee, say hi to Mrs. Evans. Hey, Mrs. Evans, how are you?
Terrible.
I'm leaving, bro. I ain't gonna deal with this shit, bro.
Yeah, I think we better.
No, the $5,000 check has to go to the mortgage company.
Huh?
It has to go to Citibank. No way City Mortgage signed that check. They owe.
I've been practicing for this day. What? Really? Are you serious? I can't believe that. What?